Hi, I'm Audrey Goss.
I'm Miranda Brock.
I'm Cameron Reynolds.
And I'm Kevin Lee.
While looking for a job, I was faced with a challenge. I realized that it's very difficult to be a full-time student while also working a part-time job. Students, especially in Eastern Kentucky, are very dedicated to their schoolwork and extracurricular activities. This makes it very difficult to maintain a school and work-life balance. However, the need for money is still very real. This is why I made our business Quick Work. Quick Work is an online service that allows people to post and apply for quick, easy errands and jobs, such as mowing someone's grass, walking someone's dog, or babysitting. Before actually completing the errand, you can communicate with your possible employer or employee through a messaging system on the app. All payment transactions will also be completed through this messaging system. Now that I've established our basic groundwork, I'll allow my teammates to elaborate.
Our three main safety precautions for Quick Work are a simple terms of service form, orientation videos after the sign-up process, and a messaging option that can occur between employees and potential employers. Our terms of service will include user guidelines, disclaimers, and our liability limitations. Our details for acceptable behavior on the app, such as appropriate jobs, and will state that we reserve the right to terminate abusive accounts. Our orientation videos will include instructions on how to operate the app and introduce our conduct rules that are detailed in the terms of service. Our messaging portal will provide verification of identity between employees and employers before the job is accepted. An automated assistant will always be available to connect you to a customer support official that can address any user concerns or questions.
I covered profit and expenditures. So this is our initial investment. This is the cost for 1 year of running Quick Work. We will need $125 to create the app. To run the server so people can use the app will be $1,200 per year. Publishing on the Google Play and App Store is $124. Advertising costs $2,400 a year, and general liability insurance will cost $500. To use Quick Work, it all depends on our user base. So we need to advertise to get out to other people. Doing this, we'll use social media, word of mouth, spread mouth. We'll use flyers, billboards, whatever we can. To generate revenue, we're going to have a 13% fee paid by the employer, but we will only have this fee after the work is completed. This way, we will make more profit. We will have advertisers they pay 10 cents to 30 cents per view, and the profit will increase when we have more traffic. You might be wondering why 13%. We wanted a fee that would be affordable to our customers so they would be willing to continue using the app, but we also wanted to have high enough that we could pay salaries, which we will not have any, which it'll just be us at the beginning, so we won't be paying ourselves until we get enough profit, and we will need to cover all of our business operations.
All right, so I cover app design. So what we were going with here was we wanted something sleek and easy to navigate, like an easy screen layout, so you can go where you need to go, get what you need to get done easy, and you can navigate easily. But to avoid chaos, we've divided the sections into two accounts, the employer and the employee. As for the employee profile, The way it'll kind of work is the home pages will be different for both accounts. The home page for the employee profile will have a big list of preferences that you can click on, select what you like, what kind of work you like to do, and then that will give you things in the feed based on that, based on those preferences. For the employer's page, the computer just went off here. For the employer's page, the computer just went off. For the employer's page, that's like, so that way the employee can talk to their employer over a messaging system. They'll be able to communicate like hours, instruction, cost, things like that. Sorry. We want to also have a variety of settings so that way the employee and the employer can customize their experience on QuickWork to make it suitable for them. So whenever they do what they need to do, they can make it how they want it. We want it to be individual here. Let's see. Also for the employee, we have implemented a system called Connect to College. The way that will work is a university can create a QuickWork university account, and they'll be able to provide internships on the app. So the employees can quickly go into an internship. As for the employer page, the preferences, the home page will be different in the way that they will select the kind of work they want done. So say I was an employer and I wanted work in, I wanted lawn work done. My job postings would appear in the feeds of students who want to do lawn work. Now then there's the messaging inbox, which is the same thing as the employee inbox in the way that it works like you receive messages and you're able to talk to your employee. Now the employee posting page is the page that the employees will actually be able to send their job on. There will be, like, the employee will have a feed where the job listings appear and they can accept that job to do. But the employer will post them on the thing, on the app, and the employee will be able to see it. And like I said, they'll also be getting a selection of settings. As for the future plan, which the future plans have not been implemented yet, but as we develop the app, which we plan to, we want to make it more and more connected to community ideas and ideas we've had in the past. So one idea we've had is something kind of like Connect to College, where you would connect to a nonprofit. And the way that would work is it would give you a feed of nonprofit organizations, because we know some people can't afford to get this work done. So that's why we kind of want to implement a nonprofit organization part. We also want to assist at some point with resume building, which is something that's crucial for younger students, especially when they're, needing to pay for gas or other things as they grow up. Right now, it's really set towards a rural area, because we're from a rural area and we know how hard it is to find employment in that area. So we're going to slowly start moving into cities, hopefully, as we move on and develop the app further. And one loose idea is a subscription service that we would call QuickWork Plus. The way that would work is it would add extra features, like possibly resume building, and it would add customizable features and things like that. All right, the presentation's back up. Let's see here. So now I'm going to show images of the prototype itself. Give me just a moment. Here we go. So this is what our app is going to look like. We've got, as you can see on that first one to the far left, we have an actual opening page with the worker and the employee. This is the employee page, by the way. On the home page, we have the preferences that go down in little icons. The employer page has, like, you can message your student your employee or employer. The feed there on the third page is where you'll actually receive the, where you're able to click and accept jobs, and you'll be able to read the description, see ratings, and then finally the quick work profile where you'll be able to edit and connect to college. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for that.
Did you get through everything you wanted to on your?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we're going to give you 5 more minutes. But you got through everything, that's fine.
I think we're good.
We're good.
Okay.
Well, don't apologize. I thought you handled the unexpected very well instead of just stopping dead and not being able to work with it. That shows that you know what the product. And so I appreciate y'all doing that and carrying on in the state of confusion. Good idea. And I like you got a logo and everything's clean. Your app is very clean that you have up here. One question I had was, when you talk about employer, is that a business employer, or could this be an individual who needs, their gutters cleaned?
The idea is that this would be individuals. So let's say you had a car and you wanted to get it washed. You could go on the app and post a job listing for your car to be washed. Say you wanted to post a listing for $20, somebody to come wash your car. They would come wash your car. You would pay them $20 through the app, and then you would pay an additional fee of $2.60 that would go to us.
Right. Okay.
Yes, we're really wanting to focus on like errands, like quick work.
Right. And then it works like Uber as far as the payment. There's no cash that actually changes hands.
Yes, it's very similar.
Okay. I also liked, and I want to kind of explore how you came up with this part of the idea, but most things like this, they don't look at the educational side of it being the resume building. Where did you decide to add that part in? Because I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so we were talking about this, and we know this is something we specifically designed for, as for the employee part, we've designed for teens. As you grow, I believe that you need to learn to develop and get a job. But I feel like our service would provide that experience. And then if we do possibly add resume building, it would help develop the minds of possible workers, like real-time wage workers.
This is such a cool idea. I work with a nonprofit that does a lot with tourism and motorsports in this region, and like last week they were saying, I wish there was a way that we could connect high school students to be able to give them little gig jobs like this at our campsites. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what they wanted. So yes, this is needed. Very impressive presentation. The way that you guys handle things under pressure, so impressive. I guess my biggest concern would be how are you going to protect these workers? I know you said you had some legal forms and things like that, but what are you going to do to protect especially the high school students?
Well, of course, we have set aside some money for legal counsel, and we have our verification processes in place that go along with the terms of service. So you have to be a certain age, which we would say around 14, to be able to use the app, just to make sure that everything's executed safely.
I believe we also have a report system in place, as you can see on the account system there. And the ratings, so if you see, you can report a bad employer or employee, for that matter, if they're being abusive or,
Yeah, like I mentioned, we reserve the right to terminate abusive accounts.
Great job powering through that. That was great. I love the look of the app as well. It looks very clean. I'm glad to see an app over a website. We're all on our phones, so it makes sense to have it there. I was just wondering about the 13%. So I'm assuming that is based off of the pay that the employer. Okay. So if it's a $20 job, you're bringing in $260. I'm just wondering if maybe implementing a minimum fee would be worth it to you guys. Your overhead, I can just see the amount of jobs that are going to have to come in to just make you guys break even with your business. Have you thought about implementing a minimum so that you can keep a clear track of exactly how many job postings you need each month in order to break even?
Yes, we've thought about that, but it would take a little bit more time to come up with the right minimum fee, because we don't want something too high for a low-cost job, because then they're just not going to use the app. So we need to try and find that perfect balance.
Well, just to say, yeah, wow, you didn't miss a beat, truly, and that was really impressive. So congrats on that. Now, I saw you earlier. I saw you the version before this, and I just want to say how impressed I am with how you've fleshed this out from, those early presentations. We were also admiring, the logo, the graphics, all is just really professional, looks great and really inviting. I also really appreciate how you presented the figures with some graphics and so on with the numbers. I don't necessarily have a question. Like I said, I saw you earlier, and it's great to see how you've advanced this. If I think of a question, I'll grab the mic.
Well, thank you. Like I said, we wanted it. That's how we communicate whenever we were going over the design, and we all worked on it together, and we really wanted something inviting for teens.
Okay, so y'all certainly got my attention. I'm very impressed, and I saw you guys out there talking among yourselves at the table. Noticed you were communicating your game plan with each other, what you were going to do and how you're going to do it. That caught my attention. I think the logo is fabulous. It looked like you hired a third-party marketing company to put that together. A very impressive website. And it's, no small feat to put that together. And the concept is great. I'd never thought of this myself. It's a good concept. You guys expressed your presentation very well with a lot of confidence. You're very sure of what you wanted to do, what you wanted to say. You're very well spoken. Young people, that's impressive, because I am a people watcher and observer. I look and I listen. Kevin especially has exceptional speaking skills. I want to compliment you on that. That will take you a long way, and so do the others. So the questions I would have would be, what if I wanted to give the individual who came to provide the service, maybe it was cleaning the gutters out, a tip? Is that going to be possible?
So if you wanted to add a tip, you could add this through the messaging system on the app where the payments are transacted. So that would be as needed.
Okay, so that is an option.
It is an option.
The tip is an option. Okay. I heard the age 14 years old. How would you go through that process? How would you vet the candidates to be able to participate in your business? How do you figure that process out?
It would just be like kind of the honor system. If you want to lie on that, you're putting yourself at risk, and we have our liabilities stated in the terms of service. It would be your decision.
So did you say that they would need their parents' permission? Is that what we heard?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Okay, good. Okay, thanks.
See, the way it works is, like you said, I can't remember who said it, but it's similar in a way to like products like Uber, where there is that like trust, but I think with apps developing as the years go on, the world is becoming more automatic, if you know what I'm saying, and I feel like that kind of app would be good for today.
The other question I would have is somebody says, hey, I'll pay $20. Let me get this right. Is it the worker saying they will do it for 20, or is it the person the client in need say they will pay 20? Which is it?
The employer would set the price when they make the listing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all decide what's a fair price for the job.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. It's a great concept. I'm absolutely impressed.
I have a question on the, you had a section here about advertisers or advertising. Usually when I use an app that has advertising in it, that's something like this, not a game, but like a professional app, a lot of times the advertising can get in the way and distract me from the experience. So one is, was that a consideration? And then two, did you look at maybe doing a sponsor who would pay a certain amount and kind of be like, powered by or sponsored by, and all through the app it's one company, instead of trying to sell views to random advertisers?
All right, what we could do is we could do with the sponsors. The idea we had with the ads is not necessarily like they would pop up and block your way like other apps. It might be like if you look up on the app, maybe there in one of the blocks it has an ad instead, so you could just scroll past it, wouldn't cause any problems, be out of the way.
To add on to his idea, Kevin also mentioned a premium version of our business that could also include being advertisement free on their prescription.
Yeah, the premium account adds a lot of features, like where we could take those ideas and implement them for more revenue.
I may have missed this, but do any of you have the capability of building this yourself, or are you going to be outsourcing this and paying for that?
So right now, Kevin and I, we are taking a AP computer class at our high school, so we are learning how to code right now this year. But apart from that, I had in the startup costs for 1 year, we have for an app builder that should help at least when we begin, and then once Kevin and I become more comfortable, we could code the app to make it exactly how we want it.
Yeah, we want to stress that we have the concept for this app. It's just we're learning how to actually build it in our classes currently.
This is just a little fine-tuning kind of feedback on the pitch overall. Think about your open and just trying to hook us with some kind of story. Do a little more storytelling. You've got, all the graphics, you got the numbers down, all that, but I would now just say, think a little bit about some storytelling to really help get, your potential investors in with you, like to something to really grab their attention. Something personal, something you've experienced yourself or seen with your family or anything like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?